This I believe. In my years in high school, I think that question for many is, would you go back to do it all over again? In my case, to that question would be a big yes in caps lock with three exclamation marks at the end of that. There's no exaggeration of my sarcasm. If I could go back, it would I would tell myself not to mess up, and stop fooling around and go back. Going back would be a blessing and be a big chill pill for my nervous system. The first place I would go would be the first day of school here. By the first day, I mean is freshman year. That's when I started messing up in my high school education. I used to be so excited that I was finally in high school. I was so blinded by my excitement that I had forgotten about schoolwork and homework. I was submerged in my social life and experimenting with new things that only made things worse. The thing that I would go change back is that I would give myself a reality check and say that if I would keep doing these things, I was going to dread the day I would wake from the foggy world I was in. Secondly, I would go back to my sophomore year. At the end of the year, I woke up from my la la land and saw that the debris and the destruction that the young and reckless and stupid kid inside of me had left behind. I hated that day, and I could picture myself. All I could picture is myself screaming the F word at the top of my lungs. That day it wasn't all bad because I knew the only way to go was up. Thinking to myself, I said that I would fix all of it, my grades, my credits, my attitude towards school, and my future. But things that are easier said than done. I had spent countless hours making up my credits. The last place I would go would be this year, my senior year. This year was nothing but a living hell for me because I had no idea I was going to graduate or not. If you're thinking that I'm feeding a whole load of BS, you're in for a surprise. This year I finished catching up my credits from 2 years ago. People often ask, why didn't you go to Ivy and then come back? And I respond to them, because that wasn't part of my plan. They look puzzled, and I just laugh and feel proud that I didn't take a darker path than I did. This year I worked harder than before, just so I can graduate, to walk with my peers and friends at graduation ceremony and receive my diploma. Then I will know that I have suffered for this that is what were for this, and that is worth it. With a simple piece of paper, I will bring back honor to my familia's last name and to myself. In conclusion, if I had the chance to go back, I would do it. I would change many things to have a better 4 years that didn't go to waste. I'm not saying I regret everything I messed up because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't happened this later. My mistakes broke me, they made me, and helped me achieve what I hoped for. This I believe that the first priority is your education, and that you must never give up regardless of the circumstances or obstacles, no matter how big.